I'm Natalie France and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As always, this is a space for cultivating a practice of self-love through yoga. Today's session is all about being grateful, so that sense of gratitude within your yoga practice, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in just one moment. Welcome back. So like I said just a moment ago, today's session is going to be very much a gratitude flow. So flow geared towards you being very grateful for maybe your yoga practice or anything else you have in your life at this present moment in time. You're going to start here kneeling. If you've got funny knees, you can sit cross-legged. You can also sit with your legs out in front of you. Bringing your hands to prayer into your Anjali Mudra, so thumbs against sternum, elbows out to sides. However you've chosen to have your legs, you're going to lift out your hips, you're not sinking down. So think lengthening through the spine. Very slight tuck of your chin to your chest, find length all the way through to the crown of the head, the back of the neck, and then close off your eyes. Connecting to the natural rise and flow of your own breath. Aiming to inhale and exhale in and out of the nose. Have that sense of your shoulders being released so they're not lifting up to your ears. And bringing your awareness back to the focus of today's session, that sense of gratitude and being thankful for what you have. Therefore, as you remain here for the next few moments, I want you to think of one thing, just one thing that you are grateful to have in your life, in your world, at this present moment in time. Take in this time to reflect on what makes you have a sense of gratitude for this one thing that you are currently thinking about. In what way are you grateful to have it, and how would possibly even having more or something similar make you feel too? Solidifying these thoughts by really pressing your palms into one another with pressure, elbows out to the sides. Have that energy flow throughout your hands as you connect to what you're grateful for. And then keeping your eyes closed as you inhale, start to raise your prayer above the head so the hands go up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, draw the hands back through prayer to heart center. Inhale as you lengthen up through the arms, palms go up above the head. Exhale, draw those hands back to center once more. One more time, inhale to reach the hands above the head. As you exhale, bring the hands back to heart center, elbows out to sides, and stay here. Shoulders away from the ears, firmly press those palms in towards one another. Bring that awareness once more back to what you are grateful to have, or grateful for having in your life, and the importance and the relevance of what it is that you are connecting to. And as you flow through today's session, let yourself be reminded of what you're grateful for. Allow it to be your motivation to get through the class. Allow it to be your guidance when your mind wants to wander. Bring it back to this focus. And then from here, starting to flicker open your eyes and keeping your hands to prayer, to heart center, sustaining this Anjali Mudra. If you happen to be positioned like I am on a mat, then bring yourself and you're facing the short side of your mat. And again, still keep your hands to prayer to heart center. Let's keep the thumbs pressed firmly against the sternum. As you inhale, start to slowly lift your heart. Elbows want to press back as you press your hips forwards. As you exhale, round the spine, bring it out as a little bit more forwards as you sit back into your heels. Inhale to find that opening across your chest, elbows come back, this version of your cat-cows. And exhale, almost like you're collapsing, but a little bit of abdominal engagement as you round through the back. And keep working through this variation of your cat-cows, following the rhythm of your own breath. Taking it nice and slow, there's absolutely no need to rush, but keep your hands to prayer to heart center. Maintain this position in your Anjali Mudra. That energy, that sense of gratitude flowing through your hands as you open the chest, shoulders down, exhale, round the spine, bring it back in. On your next inhale, take one final variation of your cow. As you exhale, come back to that final variation of your cat. And then bring yourself back to a neutral spine at halfway point in between both poses. Start to come up onto your knees. If you have to be cross-legged, aim to roll onto your knees. If your legs are straight again, just find yourself onto knees and you'll come into a high kneeling position, so don't feel you have to sit down onto your heels and start flexing your knees here. And then from here, if you can without losing your prayer, bring your right foot forwards. So your right knee is over your ankle, shuffle your left knee behind your hip and just take a moment here, elbows out to the sides, shoulders back and down. Take a deep inhale in. As you exhale, pressing your hips forwards, open across the chest once more to find that back bend. There's no need to go too deep into it, just take a gentle back bend here. We're still trying to warm up your body at this point. Lift the gaze without rocking your head back and then take an inhale. As you exhale, start to bring yourself back to center. As you bring yourself back to center, take another inhale. Exhale, rotate to your right side. Keep your right knee over your ankle. Keep your right knee to the center of the mat so it doesn't go out to the side. Hold it here. Now lift your palms to prayer above your head as you hold that twist. Shoulders away from your ears. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, pass yourself back to the center of the palms to prayer above their head. Then start to draw your hands back to prayer to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, shift your weight back, bring your right knee back, step your left knee forwards, your left foot forwards. Left knee over ankle, right knee's behind the hip, take an inhale. As you exhale, press your hips forwards, from that open across your chest once more. Lift the gaze without knocking your head back too much, inhale. Exhale, come back to center, inhale. Exhale, now rotate to your left side and raise your palms to prayer above the head. Watch your left knee isn't trying to go to the side, bring the left knee back into the center of the mat. Hold it here, shoulders away from your ears, take another inhale. As you exhale, rotate back through center, release your hands down to frame your left foot. Now from here, step your right foot forward, so tuck your toes, step your right foot forwards into that forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Release your head down. Now as you release your head down, start to take your palms to prayer to heart center once more. So you'll probably be a bit kind of tight here, that's absolutely fine. Again, elbows out to side, bring shoulders back and down as you hold here. Inhale in. Exhale, start to reach your hands out in front of you as you sit back into your Ardha Utkatasana, your half chair. So your Ardha Utkatasana pose, your feet can be hip distance apart, ground down into your heels as you hold it here. Keep your knees separated. Inhale in. Exhale up into your full Utkatasana, into your chair pose. Tuck the pelvis under, get the weights in the heels, your toes lift up off mat very easily. Just check your weights in the heels and release your toes down to the ground. Keep the pelvis tucked so you're not arching the back. Tuck the pelvis, reach the palms to prayer above the head, keep the shoulders away from the ears. Take an inhale in. As you exhale, draw your hands to prayer to heart center. Ground down into your right foot, press your right foot into the mat. Then start to lift your left foot off the ground as you reach forwards into your Virabhadrasana, so your warrior three. Straighten through both legs. Flex the foot of the left foot so toes pointed down to the ground. And keep yourself at no lower than a 90-degree bend. If it's too low for you, then go higher, but you're not dipping lower than this. You don't need to go so higher the left leg. It doesn't matter. Take an inhale in. As you exhale, start to bring your left knee back so you come back to your Utkatasana chair pose. Lift the prayer above the head. Tuck the pelvis, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale. Exhale, draw your hands to prayer into that Anjali Mudra to heart center. Ground down into your left foot. Lift the right leg off the ground. Press back into Virabhadrasana, warrior three once more. Find that Lengthening from your heel to crown of the head. Don't worry about how high your right leg is going. Your thumbs are still wanting to be at prayer position to heart center, your Anjali Mudra. Think about lengthening through the standing leg while also lengthening through your spine, and then lifting legs. Take an inhale in. Exhale, start to draw your right knee back to the front of the mat into your Utkatasana chair pose once more. Tuck the pelvis, reach the palms of prayer above the head and hold it here. Filling it in those thighs, keep that pelvis tucked, weight is in the heels, and have the palms press very in towards one another, shoulders away from the ears. Take another inhale in. As you exhale, draw the palms of prayer to heart center once more. From your Utkatasana into your Ardha Utkatasana, into your half chair. Hold here. Start to reach the prayer away from you. Palms still pressed very much together. Now I want you to stay here. And as you stay here, you're going to love me with this one. As you stay here, bring your awareness back to that one thing that you are grateful for. And keep thinking about it as opposed to the obvious as to what your body is doing right now. So keep thinking about that one thing you're grateful for. Keep your focus there, not so much on your legs. Hold it here. Breathe deeply. Inhale. Exhale. Can you sink down lower? Keep thinking about what you're grateful for, and know that it is an amazing thing that you have in your life, whatever it is that you're grateful for, and that the more you focus on it, the more you keep your attention on that, the more you can divert your attention to the things that you want in life and not the things that you might not be so happy with, like where you're holding right now. Take an inhale in. As you exhale, draw your hands to prayer to heart center. Release down into your Uttanasana forward fold. Start to very gently straighten for your legs. Find length for the spine, so not rounding the back of the shoulders, but still keep a sense of length for the spine. Find your chest open here. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down to the ground. Step your right foot back. Then your left foot back into a high plank. So modified Chaturanga Dandasana. Take an inhale. Exhale, release your knees. Release your toes out behind you. Modified Chaturanga Dandasana, but not the one that I would normally do if you've watched quite a few of my videos. So keep your elbows squeezed in. Then you lower yourself down to a 90-degree bend. This is the modified kind of halfway point. Stay here. Squeeze those elbows in as you inhale. Start to lift your head and chest. Shoulders back and down for your Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, your upward facing dog. This is the modified version. You can lift your knees. Just stay here with knees down or lifted. Think about also lifting your glutes up, pressing the legs in. So bring the legs in, turn your rotate legs in towards one another and hold it here. Again, shoulders back and down. Shine your heart forwards as you hold here. Remembering what you are grateful for. Have that moment. Close up the eyes. You're staying here in your Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Inhale. As you exhale, release the knees down to the ground, then lift it into your Balasana, your child's pose. Your child's pose will be different. So you come sit onto your heels with your knees upside the mat. Bring your hands back to your prayer position and then rest the heel of the hands on the base of the skull as you rest your forehead down. And actually you can have your elbows pressed into the mat here. So hold here. Use the heel of the hands very gently to anchor your forehead down. And take a moment in stillness. Deep inhales and exhales. What is that one thing you are grateful for again? Take your focus back to it. Let it be at the forefront of your mind as you hold here, as you flow through today's practice. Stay here for a little bit longer. Press the palms firmly in towards one another. Try and have a strong position here. Taking one more inhale. As you exhale, release your hands back down to the ground and then start to lift yourself up. So you're going to keep your forearms down on the ground for your dolphin. So start to tuck your toes and lift yourself up into that dolphin pose. Your feet are hip distance. Press those forearms into the mat. You're aiming from the 11 o'clock position, those hands. Start to walk your feet a little bit further to you. Lift your hips up to the ceiling. Releasing your head down to the ground. Your head is not touching the mat. Find the strength in your upper body, your abs, your core to hold you here. Remind yourself of that one thing you're grateful for. So I love these challenging yoga flows where it challenges what your mind is thinking about. And I find that if you have one focus, in this case, focus on what you're grateful for, it helps you to pass through the intensity. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, lift your left elbow, lift your right elbow off the mat. Adjust yourself into your downward facing dog. You might need to take your feet a bit further back. for your Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog pose, and find stillness here. Press the pads of your fingertips into the mat. Think about lifting your hips up to the ceiling as you draw your heels down towards the ground, and find your drishti, your gaze, going to your navel or between the backs of your legs. Hold it here. For the length down those legs, for the length through your spine. Take the right leg up to the ceiling, keep the hips square to the mat. Take an inhale in. As you exhale, start to bring your right knee to your chest. And then from here, keep it lifted. Keep your right knee off the ground. And then start to just take your right foot behind you into that wild thing. Taking your right hand onto your chest. Now, if you need to modify, you're more than welcome to bring your right knee down to the ground. Just have your left leg extended. Otherwise, you're coming back to that original full version. Right hand on your heart center, elbow out to side. Think about pressing your chest up towards the ceiling as you hold it here, and breathe. Inhale. Exhale, press the hips up, take an inhale. As you exhale, start to pass yourself back through center. If your right knee's down, see if you can start to just bring yourself back up once more, so your right knee comes back into that high lift, and step your right foot in between your hands. When your right foot comes in between your hands, your right knee's over your ankle, your left heel is lifted. And you start to lift your belly off your thigh. Bring your hands back to press, heart center, elbows out to sides, and stay here. Shoulders back and down. Inhale. Exhale, hold it here, take an inhale. As you exhale, start to open yourself out to your left side. And from here, pivot both your toes in and your heels out to side. You might need to bring your feet closer. You might be able to go wider, but keep your hands to prayer to heart center, elbows out to sides. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, start to incline forwards, chin to your chest. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Weight a bit more into the toes, so come a bit more to the front of your body. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and keep going here. In this variation of your forward fold here. So, Utthita, I'm about to say it wrong, I'm about to give you the wrong pose. So the pose you're doing here, keep inhaling, exhaling to go down. So your Prasarita, Padottanasana. This is not version A, B or C, because you wouldn't normally have your hands to pray to heart center. So we'll just say it's Prasarita, Padottanasana, a variation. Okay, inhale, exhale, release. Second inhale, exhale, release. In the next inhale, start to slowly bring yourself all the way back up. Once you come up to standing, pivot your right foot back to the front of the mat. Lift your left heel off. Keep both legs straight initially, then start to find a bend into your right knee, incline forwards, bend your right foot for your vinyasa, step your right foot back, start high plank, take an inhale. As you exhale, full or modified Chaturanga. So try to do the 90-degree bend in the elbows with the modified one if you can. Inhale up to a variation of Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, your upward facing dog. Variation will be knees down to make it modified, knees lifted to make it the full version. Shoulders back and down and stay here. If you've gone to your Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, come back to your Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, your upward facing dog. Will lift the glutes. Take an inhale. Exhale, push up and back into your downward facing dog. Take a moment here to find stillness. Take a moment here to reconnect with what you are grateful for. Think about pressing your heart down towards the ground to find that length for your spine. Think about drawing your heels down also, and fingers into the mat rather than your wrists. So having that sense of grounding down for your feet, for your fingers. Your head is rooted down towards the ground. Hold here. Then taking your left leg up to sing into a three-legged dog. Keep your hips square to the mat. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your left knee to your chest. And when you come forwards into your front body, hold it here. Then start to open out. So you bring your left foot behind you for your one thing. Your left hand comes onto your heart center. Don't forget, if you need to, you can bring your left knee all the way down to the ground. Okay? Otherwise, keep your left foot there and lift your hips up to the ceiling. Press that left hand onto your heart. Feel that energy of your heart center with the hand on the heart. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, start to bring yourself back through center. Lift your left knee off the ground if you're in a modified version. Bring your left knee back to that original position. Then step your left foot in between the hands into lunge. Your right heel comes off the ground. You bring your hands back to prayer to heart center, elbows out to sides. Take an inhale. As you exhale, start to straighten through that left leg. Just hold it here and open out to the side once more. I'm a bit close to my bar, so I'm just going to shift myself back. So toes in, heels out to sides. Again, keeping your hands to Anjali Mudra, elbows out to sides with this variation of your Prasarita Padottanasana. Take an inhale. Exhale, start to incline forwards, chin to your chest. Move the weight more into your toes, so you're coming a bit more forwards, but keep the elbows outside the hands to prayer to heart center. Inhale. Exhale. So aim to stick with the theme of today's session rather than going into your version A, B, C or D. Keep the hands to prayer. If anything, this is like version C, if I'm not mistaken. It's like having the hands and the hips, we're just not doing that version. So hands and the hips will be version of your Prasarita Padottanasana C. We're going for the hands to prayer. Inhale. Exhale to release. Inhale in. Exhale to release. Take an inhale. Exhale to release. Take one more inhale. Exhale to release. And very slowly inhale to come all the way up to standing. All the way up. And once you come up, pivot yourself back to your left foot once more. Lift your right heel off the ground. Keep the legs straight initially. Then bend your left knee, frame your left foot. Step back into your high plank for your vinyasa. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower through full and modified Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale up to your cobra or your upward facing dog, your Adho Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, push up and back into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth to release. Take another deep inhale in through the nose. As you exhale, release out through the mouth. Bring your knees down and then take a moment to hold here. Walk your hands back in towards you, keeping your knees separated so your knees are hip distance. Tuck in your pelvis. If you need to modify, so I'll talk you through different ways to approach camel. The easiest way to do it is to tuck your toes. The hardest way to do it is to have your legs out. So there's 3 ways I'll explain how you can do it with the position of your back body. But the easiest option to do all those 3 options is for the toes tucked. The hardest way is for the toes released. I'm going to go for toes released. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So bring your hands to prayer to heart center into Anjali Mudra once more. Tuck your pelvis to protect your lower back and you keep pressing your hips forwards the whole entire time. Now from here, if you need to modify, whether you have your toes tucked or released, rather than having your hands to prayer to Anjali Mudra, so you keep pressing your hips forward, support your lower back with your hands, and then that's where you need to stay, okay? If you want to go further than this, again, toes tucked, easier, toes release harder. You walk your fingers to the crease behind your knees. If you want to go harder, now your full camel would normally be having the hands on the ankles and pressing yourself here with the toes tucked or toes released. Can you find yourself doing it with your hands to prayer to heart center? It's giving you less support, the Anjali Mudra. So if you don't like it, just take yourself to the normal version. Toes touch or release again, okay? So wherever you are, find stillness, close your eyes, keep pressing your hips forwards and bring your awareness back to that one thing you're grateful for as you open up your heart. Let your heart shine, let that thing you're grateful for shine through your heart center. Now from here, if you have your hands on your ankles, or if you have your hands to prayer to heart center, bring your chin to your chest. From hands and ankles, walk your fingertips to the crease behind the knees. Then come all the way out of it into your balasana, your child's pose. So toes together, knees either side of the mat, sit back into your heels. And as you come into your balasana, let's go through the variation with your hands to prayer once more. Bring in the heel of the hands to the base of the skull, elbows pressed down to the mat, and reconnect to that one thing once more that you're grateful for. You might have found today's session easy, you might have found it challenging. The reason why I kept asking you to focus on that one thing you're grateful for is because when you go for your journey of self-love, when you go for your journey of life, there are always challenges that are going to be thrown at you. There are always going to be moments that you find tough. There's always going to be something that gets in your way and becomes an obstacle that you have to overcome. You can approach this with one of two ways. You can be defeated, you can be upset, you can be angry, you can be any kind of negative emotion you like, or you can be grateful for what you have. You can be grateful for the experience that you're going through and what it's going to teach you. But there's one thing I've learned on my personal journey of self-love, that with whatever obstacle comes my way, whatever distraction or negative energy that wants to find itself within my path, one of my best go-tos is to literally focus on what I do have, focus on what I have achieved, and being grateful for the success I currently have, being grateful for the items I have, whether it be material, whether it be thoughts. Doesn't always have to be material possessions, doesn't always have to be someone either. Sometimes I'm just grateful for the fact that I came on this path, that I left my corporate career and that I have now found a job that I love to do. I'm sometimes just grateful for the fact that I get to have freedom in my day-to-day and that I can kind of pretty much control how I work for the most part. So anytime I find a challenge, anytime I find myself being stuck in a rut or just having a bad couple of days, a bad day can kind of be quite easy for me to get over, but sometimes you can get into a bit of a rut of having a few bad days in a row, and when that happens, I just remind myself of what I'm grateful for. Gratitude is often my way of seeing past the obstacles and the challenges that are in front of me. Gratitude helps me to stay on the straight and narrow. Gratitude helps to keep me focused. And above all, whatever I'm grateful for, I receive in abundance, because the more I'm grateful for what I have, the more I'm able to attract and magnetize to myself. With that said, start to release the heel of the hands from behind your head and bring the hands back down to the ground and walk them back in. Finding yourself into a comfortable kneeling or sitting position, bring your hands back to prayer to Anjali Mudra once more. Closing off the eyes, releasing the head down and bringing the awareness back to your breath. Taking deep inhales in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth to release. Thanking yourself for taking the time to practice yoga today, being grateful for all that you gained from this yoga session. Taking this practice of gratitude out into your day-to-day life. Always remembering that the more you're grateful, the more you're able to attract into your life on your journey of self-love. Taking one more inhale in through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth to release. Drawing your hands to prayer to your forehead. As you start to gently flicker open your eyes, lifting the gaze when you are ready. I am most certainly grateful and thank you for joining me on today's session. I hope you most certainly got something out of the session for today that you can carry into your day-to-day life. If you love this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified each time I upload a new video. Until next time, please do enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you again real soon here on the mat. So take care of yourself, have a good one, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.